Hey everybody, not that there's a lot of everybody. I don't think this channel has many subscribers, but I'm doing a little update. I've been meaning to do an update for a while because I realized I went right past my March 15th 1 year anniversary of leaving CogFX, which is, in my opinion, the world's leading concussion recovery clinic. Where I spent 2 weeks there in 2025 recovering from my injury sustained in a car accident in 2024. So, yeah, I just thought I would do like a 1 year recap, mainly because I'm symptomatic right now. And so I was just like, well, what better time is there? So here it's really interesting trying to figure out how to explain what things are like. But here's what it's like. Here's an example. I went to this movie club about 2 weeks ago. Yeah, about 2 weeks ago. Just a group of random people who didn't really know each other. At least I didn't know the group. And we got together and all went to go see a movie. And then you get together afterwards to talk about the movie. So we went to see this cool movie. And afterwards, we all talked for maybe, 20 minutes. We talked also for about 15 minutes before the movie. Then fast forward like a week and a half. And it was a day that I had done a lot of bike commuting around town. I think I had bike commuted maybe 4 miles. Some people that's a lot. For some people that's a little. But I was riding my bike through my neighborhood and I recognized someone from the group. Now, here's the funny thing, is I pulled over and I started talking to her. And I remembered her name, but I could not, for the life of me, remember where I met her. It was super embarrassing. And it's not the kind of thing where you would normally forget where you met someone when you've only met them once in your whole life. And when it was the first movie club you've ever been to in your entire life. So yeah, so I'm talking to her, and so I'm trying to reflect back, and finally I just said, look, I don't remember where I met you. I'm so sorry. Where did we meet? And then comes the embarrassment of like, oh, it was like 10 days ago and I can't freaking remember. So that's what it's like for me a year after treatment when I exercise. Normally when it's like intensive cardiovascular, so like probably that day on my bike, I probably charged up and down some hills, decided to do some sprints on my bike to get from point A to B. And so, yeah, that's what happens. And so today, like right now I'm in the midst of working on a documentary film project. It outputs actually as a podcast, Substack articles, videos, and then it's going to culminate in a documentary movie. And so what I do every day is I decide whether I'm going to exercise, to try to stay physically fit, or if I'm just going to focus on doing thinky things. Because I cannot do both. If I do thinky things and then I exercise, I'm really going to tank. And what was I saying? Wow, I just totally lost my train of thought. Here's why I lost my train of thought. So the right temple here is throbbing because I just got done exercising. I decided to do today my favorite thing, where I carry a sandbag up and down a big steep hill for like 45 minutes. And when I was done, I sat in the car and I was like, I think I feel pretty good. And then I noticed that I was off balance, and that when I close my eyes, I can feel like my head is sort of spinning, like a slow, gentle sort of spin. And so, and then I realized, actually, if I slow down and I close my eyes and I like get through the part of me that's normalizing the pain, my whole brain is throbbing right now. And so I don't know exactly the mechanics of why this is like my main lingering symptom, but this is pretty much my main lingering symptom. So when people ask me, how are you? a year after this really effective treatment, I say, if I don't exercise, I'm pretty much leading a completely normal life. But if I exercise even a little bit, like even if I just do yoga 2 days in a row or 3 days in a row, I start to get symptoms again. And then what I do is I stop exercising so I can focus on the movie or, just thinking. So, yeah, it's weird. So anyway, that's what's going on with me. And it's weird. It's just really weird because every time, like sometimes, sorry, I'm having a day. Man, wow. I'm having a moment here. Man, geez, what was I saying? Well, anyway, so what you're seeing here, this will go away because I only stopped exercising like 40 minutes ago. So like after I get home, after I eat, I'm definitely going to take a long hot bath. And when I wake up tomorrow, I should be pretty good. Though sometimes I notice after I exercise, even though I'm symptomatic afterwards, I'm usually like most symptomatic 2 days after I exercise, when it's intense, like the thing I did today. The frustrating part, though, well, no, let me stay on track. So that's the big difference, though, is that my rebound back into not having symptoms is really good. But still, so when people are like, wow, you're working on all these things, you're outputting a podcast, you're writing Substack articles, you're releasing video content, and you're working on this whole feature-length documentary movie all by yourself. Like, wow, how are you juggling all this? Are you sure you have a brain injury? Like, I can't tell. And it is weird. Like, it's such a cliche to be like, oh, I have a hidden injury. But yeah, like people can't tell. And so like right now, I just noticed when I was talking that the volume of my own voice is hurting my ears and hurting my head. So yeah, this is the most symptomatic I've been in a while. And that's really frustrating and sad for me. I feel sad right now because like I haven't done a hill workout with the sandbag probably in a month. So like I've been holding off because I wanted to not be symptomatic so I could focus on the work. And so it is frustrating because you kind of think like, well, I've waited so long to do it that maybe when I get back in there and I try it again, maybe I'll realize that like I'm so much better that there won't be symptoms. But yeah, my head hurts a lot. So let's see, the plus side of things is that I can rebound. The fact that I can even hike a hill is amazing. The fact that I can even focus on a documentary is amazing compared to where I was before I went to CogFX a year ago. But if you ask me, am I living a normal life? Is it the same life I had before the concussion? Fuck no. Absolutely not. Not even close. When I try to rate where my healing is at, if 10 was me before the accident, I would say it's pretty much always at a 7 because all I have to do is exercise and I'm at a 5. Like right now, I'm a solid 5. Okay, so I pulled the car over again before I get home because I realized appropriately that I forgot 2 important things. One of the other symptoms is like when I do ride my bike, I often, when I get off the bike, then I'm off balance for a little bit. And also days like today when I've exercised, when I'm walking, I have to focus really hard because I can tell my legs, like my feet, like want to stray and sort of maybe go off in a direction of their own. So like I'm really consciously focusing on walking in a straight line. You probably wouldn't notice it. You would have to be like in my inner gyroscope to tell what's going on. But the one other big symptom besides exercise that triggers symptoms, or the one other thing that triggers symptoms besides exercise, is this. And I don't want to beat up on Trader Joe's, but damn, Trader Joe's is lit up so bright with blue fluorescent lights that I generally go there maybe once a month at the most because it's so intensely bright with the fluorescent lights that I can't take it. I mean, I can be in there for like, I mean, I can feel it as soon as I go in, but I can be there probably about 15 minutes would be my limit before I start feeling like this rising sense of overwhelm, overstimulation, like everyone's talking to me at once, even though no one's talking to me. That's just sort of what the blue light does. So, it's definitely not as bad as before I went to Cognitive FX. Of course, it's not as bad, but it's bad enough that I will probably never be able to work in a bright lit office environment with fluorescent lights for the rest of my life without being symptomatic. To me, that means I'm never working in an office setting again unless I can bring in incandescent lighting or, or if there's just natural light. So yeah, I just want to make sure I included those two things. So is exercise is the trigger, and then blue lights are the trigger. Yeah, like all the lights in my house are incandescent. I switched those out long ago. Anyway, that is the end of my story. Okay, bye.